Hello everyone, this is ML Naruto. Welcome to my channel. So today in this video, I'll be talking about an important topic, that is data types. So earlier we have seen an equation, that is x square minus x square plus 2y minus 2 equal to 1. So this is the equation we have seen in our previous video, wherein x and y are actually acting as a placeholders for some particular data. So we call them as a variable. So x and y are called as a variables. So here variable in the sense it can take any values. So these x and y can take any values, in the sense they can take any integral numbers, in the sense maybe any 10, 20, 30, likewise. And they can also have real numbers, maybe 0.23, 5.5, something. And they can also have just a binary version of it, binary numbers, maybe 0 or 1. They can have anything, they can take up to any values. And if you want to solve that particular equation, okay, for example, here we have x square plus 2y minus 2 equal to 1. So this is the equation. And if you want to solve that equation, then you should definitely relate these variables. You should definitely relate these variables x and y to the type of the values that they hold, to types of values that they are actually holding. Okay. For example, how do you relate these variables, that is x and y, to the data types, to the type of values that they're actually holding? Here comes to our rescue, that is a data type. So a data type is such kind of a thing with which we can easily relate our variables x and y with the particular data type. For example, if these are related to some integer, maybe 0, 1, 2, and so on, so we can easily relate to this particular value with the help of a data type. Okay. So, and here I'll tell you the definition, a textbook kind of definition. What is a data type? Just now I have explained you in layman terms, but if you want a textbook kind of definition, we have it. That is a set of data. Data type is nothing but a set of data with predefined values. It's a set of data in which it already has values which are defined earlier, which are predefined. Okay. So a set of data with predefined values, for which we call it as a data type. We have so many examples in this data type. For example, integer, it's a data type, and float point, it's a kind of data type. And also we have unit number, character, and string, maybe, etc. So likewise, we have so many data types in computer programming. But actually, why do we need any data type? What is the use of it? Is it really required to have data type in computer programming, or without any data type, can't we do anything? For that, I'll explain. For example, imagine this is your computer. Okay, this is a laptop. Just imagine this thing. Ignore my poor drawing skills. Just ignore. So this is your keyboard, and imagine this is your laptop. Okay. For example, in this laptop, you have a programming language. For example, maybe Python or something. Okay. And uh, everybody knows that computer uses a particular language, which is nothing but a machine language. We call it as a machine language. Okay. What is this machine language? Nothing but a binary language. We can also call it as a binary language, wherein we only have ones and zeros. So everything that I'm actually doing right now, or every operation, every single operation, every single command that I usually operate in this particular system is usually getting into these ones and zeros. Okay. So, for example, you have got some kind of problem. Maybe what happened is, in the system you have got some kind of problem. Okay, in this particular code you have got some problem, and you want to make some modifications to it. Can you do that in terms of zeros and ones? Can you make it understand in terms of zeros and ones to the computer? Why? Because computer can only understand this zeros and ones language, and you can't even do that in a plain English or in any American English. Why? Because a computer can only understand machine language. So you have to code it uh, in this particular machine language. Can you do that? No. Why? Because it's almost very difficult to uh, I mean uh, to write anything in terms of zeros and ones. See, for example, if I say this hi word, in the sense, if you want to convert this into binary language, maybe this would consider it as maybe 0 1, likewise. So for this particular single word, it is taking this particular form. And if you want to code an entire thing here, then just imagine, uh, I mean, what should you need to do actually? So that's very difficult, right? Because everything that you have coded here, you just need to provide that in terms of zeros and ones. So that's very difficult for us to do. So for this reason, every programming language, either it may be Python or C++ or C or Java or whatever it may be, for every programming language, compilers are actually, for every programming languages and for every compiler, usually, for both of these things, they are usually provided with some kind of data types. Okay. So data types are that necessary. These are the necessary ones. And I'll tell you a thing. Usually, integer can only takes 2 bytes. Okay, and a float can only takes 4 bytes. In the sense, 2 bytes in the sense, it's about 16 bits. If it is 4 bytes, then it would be 32 bits. So in a computer memory, if we just combine 2 bytes in our computer memory, if you just combine 2 bytes, then obviously that becomes an integer. And if we combine 4 bytes, that would take the form of float. Okay. So here, the data type is actually reducing the coding effect. Data type is usually reducing the coding effect. In total, there are two kinds of data types. So what are they? The first one is user defined. Sorry, this is not the first one actually. So the first one is system defined data types. In shortcut, I'm actually writing it as D types, or we can also call it as a primitive data types. Primitive data types. And the second one is we have user defined data types. So these are the things that usually we discuss when it comes to the topic of data types. I'll see you in the next video. Jai Hind.